And his gorgeous eyes, it's just got everything. Best of luck with that. Now, there was good news for mortgage holders last week as the interest rates fell to their lowest levels in almost a year. Hopefully, this is a sign of really good things to come. So, are you thinking about remortgaging? Should you? A lot of decisions to be made, Jose.
Well, to help us make sense of it all, we're now joined by broker Sarah Tucker, who is also known as the Mortgage Mum. And we've had lots of calls for you this morning, Sarah. So I want to go straight to the phone line if I can. We've got Sharon on the line. Sharon, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Sharon, what would you like to ask Sarah?
So I'm due for maternity leave at the end of May, and then shortly after that, my mortgage is due for renewal. So I was just wondering how going on statutory maternity pay would impact my mortgage application.
OK, well, first of all, congratulations on your baby. And it's a big deal going back from maternity leave. Now, when your remortgage comes up, you've said it May, I think you just said, you should be looking at it 6 months before, so now. And actually, you picked a good time because the fixed rates are coming down quite a bit that we've seen so far in 2024. Now, they aren't going to be where they were before, but they are a lot more positive. Your question is, how will your maternity affect it? Well, at the moment, you're not on maternity, but even if you were, the good news is the lenders take into account what your income was before you went on maternity, as long as you're returning at the same rate. So if you're going back full time, they'll ask you for a return to work letter, usually from your employer, but they will take into account the income that you're going back to, so you don't get penalised for having a baby, which is good.
OK, that's brilliant.
Is that helpful, Sharon?
Yes, perfect, thank you.
Oh, good luck with it all. Good luck.
Sharon, bye. Alexia is in London. Good morning, Alexia. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very, very good. Thanks so much. Sharon's here to help you. How can she help?
Hi, Sharon. We are coming out of a 2-year fixed repayment mortgage end of January. We were offered in November a new rate, new 2-year fixed, but it's going up from 1.56% to 6.04%.
Oh, wow.
I'm just wondering if we were to move on to a variable instead of a fixed rate in January, is it an easy process to then move back to a fixed if there does suddenly become an increase again?
So if you're going on to a different rate, there is options. Is there a reason why you don't want to go on to the other fixed rate? Have you had them looked at this year? Because obviously that is a lot higher, I can appreciate, but the rates have come down a bit. So my advice would be to get that repriced, definitely, because I'd like to see if that rate can come down a bit for you.
Sorry, no, it did come down slightly to 5.56.
Okay.
Which is the new figure.
Okay, so your question is, should you...
Yeah, should we agree to a fixed year now, or should we do a variable and wait and see how things go?
You are gambling the market. That's the only problem with waiting. I would say get yourself a fixed rate that you feel semi-comfortable with right now. You can change your mind if up until the point of the mortgage actually transferring. If the rates come down, your broker should be checking the market all the time. So if rates come down, your brokers, unfortunately for the broking market, need to actually recheck and reprice all of their deals that they've given out to give you the best advice and to give you the best possible rate. So that would be my advice to you, is the fixed is going to give you stability. It's going to allow you to budget for those monthly repayments. I know it's not great. I know it's a lot higher, but at least you know where you stand.
Yeah, OK. All right. Thank you.
Sarah, how far do you think they're going to drop? Because we get excited when we see them going down a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to know. And if I did, I think I'd make a lot of money if I knew. The great news is they're dropping earlier than we thought they would. We thought they were going to drop a lot later than this in the year, but things are looking better. Inflation is lower, the market is stable, and we're looking for stability here. So how low are they going to drop? Who knows? How low can they go? What we can see is lenders are pricing on something called swap rates, and they obviously feel strong about the market because they're coming in and they're kind of going in every day with different deals and different mortgage rates that are lower than each other, which is great news for buyers out there and for people that are remortgaging off of COVID cheap rates, as we like to call them.
Sarah, you've been so popular this morning. We've got Jilly here. Is a 5-year or a 2-year fix best? With rates changing all the time, is it better to look in for a longer 5-year mortgage, or is it best to look into a shorter 2-year mortgage? I'm worried that if I look in for a 5-year mortgage, I'll be paying over the standard rate if rates come down in a couple of years.
It's the big question, it's the big gamble. My answer would be depending on what you need. So if you think you're going to move house in the next 5 years, for myself, I want to move. So I don't want to fix in for 5 years and then be tied to my mortgage lender and not have the whole market to be able to use for affordability, because every lender lends a different amount. So it really depends for Gilly what her life looks like in the next 5 years. If she's happy with the 5-year deals, they are cheaper than the 2-year ones at the moment. And that's an indication that the lenders feel the market's going to be better in 5 years than in 2. If she does lock in for 5 years, you know, if that's going to be affordable to her now, it might be the best thing, so she doesn't have to worry. 2 years goes really, really quickly.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice to her. It really depends on what her next 5-year plan looks like.
Sarah, I love this question from Kelly because what she's asking makes such sense, but I guess it doesn't work this way. She says she's moving house, but can I keep my current mortgage fixed? Can we just transfer a mortgage to a new property and keep the same fixed rate, or do we have to negotiate a new mortgage?
Well, the good news is hopefully the answer is yes for most people. So you need to check your mortgage offer, and there'll be a section in there that tells you if it's portable. That's the word you're looking for, portable. That means you can take that with you, and then probably most people are looking to borrow a bit more on top. That bit on top won't be at that rate. It would be nice if it was. That bit on top will be at a new product. So you'll end up with 2 mortgages with the same lender on the new property.
I mean, that's such an incentive to move because it takes out so much hassle. I didn't know that. Did you know that you could do that? That's amazing.
Joseph's going to say yes.
She's a mortgage advisor. Wow, amazing.
Next, we've got Shan. Now, do I need a deposit if I'm selling and buying? We currently have a mortgage and are looking to buy a new home. Do we need to save for a deposit and fees, or can the profit from selling our current home be used for this?
So yes, your profit from selling the current home can be used as part of your deposit. You need to work out how your fees are, because you're going to have to pay estate agency fees to sell. There'll be removal costs, there'll be stamp duty. So I would say sit with how much you think your property is going to sell, and always get an agent to give you advice, minus the fees, and that's what your deposit can be. And if you've got any savings on top, then that's your deposit. So when you speak to a broker, you can then tell them that's what you're roughly looking at deposit-wise.
Aaron asks, rates are low, should I remortgage early? A lot of people asking that already, but I'm due to remortgage in November. Is it worth remortgaging early though? I'm stressed about possible percentage causing my monthly payments to be very high. Are rates set to stay lower? Lots of questions there from Erin.
Yeah, lots of questions, but that's fine. I would say to Erin, look at your mortgage in May, 6 months before, so you can lock in a rate in May. Hopefully the market's doing even better by then, you never know. Definitely be organised, because if the rates come down between May and November, she can reprice that deal with most lenders, so it's worth being organised. Erin, the rates will be higher. So it's worth also looking at your monthly budgeting. And I'd tell everybody to do this into the new year. I know it doesn't sound fun, but it's best to get control of the situation. So write down what your outgoings are each month, what your income is, what you're left with. And if that mortgage does go up, you can see how that's actually going to affect you. But there's so many things we spend money on and actually don't realise that we need to reduce. We all do it. You know, we have all of the different subscriptions, but what can you cut back on now in preparation for May? And she's got 5 months to work on her money relationship before that happens. But be organised.
Children, Sarah.
Children, yes, I know I have 3 myself.
And just quickly, Sarah, and we've got a message from Sharon here. What is a shared ownership mortgage?
So a shared ownership mortgage is a potentially good option for those people who are struggling to afford a normal mortgage. It's a government-backed scheme, and they say it's part rent, part buy. So as it sounds, you buy a share of a property, and then a housing association or developer owns the other share, and you'll pay a mortgage on your share, and you'll need a lower deposit, because you'll only do a deposit on your share, and then you'll pay rent on the part that you don't own. And you can actually work towards staircasing and owning the whole amount, but it allows some people to get on the property ladder who wouldn't be able to normally. So it can be a really good option, not for everybody, but for some people.
Well, it's so hard to get on the property ladder, isn't it, sometimes, you know?
I know, it is. But, you know, more and more people are keen to. A lot of people have waited all of last year because the rates were so high, and maybe have more savings now, and maybe can get on the property ladder this year. We're hoping.
You're brilliant, Sarah. You're so clear, because it's such a minefield. I can't get my head around it, but when you speak about it, it's like, makes sense. So thank you so much.
Thank
good stuff.
You so much.
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you.
Now, Josie,